Good evening, Temecula. It is Monday, January 10th, 6 p.m., and we are the Temecula Community Services Commission. My name is Kathy Sizemore. I am the Vice Chair for the Commission, and I am standing in the absence for our Chair, Eric Levine, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. As we start our meeting, the first item on our agenda is to begin our meeting with our flag salute. And I will go ahead and lead our flag salute. Everybody please join me by rising and putting your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And it is our pleasure tonight to have our newest Commissioner on Community Services joining us. So our first item on our agenda is to call up our City Clerk, Randy Joel, who will swear in our newest Commissioner, Yuan Hawks.
Hi, Yuan. Thank you, Commissioner Sizemore. And it is my absolute pleasure to go ahead and swear in Ms. Hawks so that you all can have a quorum tonight to go ahead and meet. Ms. Hawks, if you want to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Yuan Hawks,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
and
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Certificate, and it looks like they have a slot ready for you to go, so you can go ahead and take your seat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Sizemore.
Thank you, Randy. And welcome you on, Commissioner Hawks. We welcome you to come up here and join the rest of the commission on the dais. And now for the first item on our agenda is public comments. Oh, roll call. Well, okay, sorry.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Katrina Thorson, and I will be serving as your Commission Secretary this evening. And to begin with the roll call, Commissioner Hawks. And Commissioner Kristevsky.
Here.
Commissioner Audi has an excused absence. And Chairperson Levine, also excused absence, and Vice Chair Sizemore.
Here. All right, thank you. I was just ready to get to business, ready to get things started. It's so excited to have public comments tonight. We have 2 public comments, so I will go ahead and read the rules for our public comments. A total of 30 minutes is provided for members of the public to address the Community Services Commission on items that appear on the consent calendar or matter not listed on the agenda. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. For all business items on the agenda, each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Public comments may be made in person at the meeting by submitting a speaker card to the Secretary or by submitting an email to be read aloud into the record at the meeting by the Secretary. Email comments must be submitted to Community Services Commission at temecula.gov. Email comments on all matters, including those not on the agenda, must be received prior to the time the agenda is called for public comments. Email comments shall be subject to the same rules as would otherwise govern in-person public comments. Katrina?
Our first speaker is Eric Schaefer.
Good evening, Commission. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. My name is Eric Schaefer. I'm the president of Temecula Little League. I joined you guys here tonight just kind of a question and reach out to you guys to see if you would consider an amendment to the ruling of 0401. Not necessarily in entirety and the whole words of the statement, but a portion of the statement where it describes the 80% and 20% rule. The policy was written back, or last approved in 2013, and I think given the state where we're at now, there could potentially be an amendment to that. In front of a few of you, I believe there is a printout. It has a letter that I sent to James Wilcox, and he advised I come here to discuss with you guys for further interpretation or possible amendment. If you go to the second page, it shows what is recognized for Little League International. Little League International, we've been chartered, Temecula Little League in particular has been chartered since 1980. It is a pretty strong youth organization within our community. And Little League back then created a boundary map, and this is our boundary map. And to the right, you'll see what is recognized as the U.S. postal zip codes for Temecula. We have the three. There's 92591, 90, and 92. Now within that green blocking of those three, in the center is Temecula. Now I'm sure there's always been a question of why is that Temecula and that's not Temecula. Well, to be completely honest, and in my defense to those residents, non-residents, they're contributing factors to our community, especially to our organization, whether it be sponsorships, whether it be attendance, whether it be being there for our players, right? One of the mottos of Temecula is community, and specifically to the players themselves. It's all about the inclusiveness of the players and having the opportunity to participate in something much larger than what they see from day to day. It's our goal and objective to make those children be better citizens and contribute to the community of us as a whole. So in total, I guess I would just say that the members that are outside of this red block of zip codes, that they are actually true residents, right? They all contribute to our events. They come to all of our local businesses. They go to our grocery stores. I'm sure a lot of you have friends that live out in Glen Oaks, or you have friends that live in Morgan Hill. They're actually not considered residents under this square and to contribute to our 80%. So my ask is that we look at that. We currently have 944 players. That's a record year for Little League. Last year we were at 570, and our registration is still open. So we'll have more, which I don't know how I feel about because it's crazy. However, I do have for some solutions that's on the back page of behind the zip code map. One, keep it the same. We do nothing, right? Given that it was generated in 2013, I think maybe there's a potential we can reconsider and look at things and possibly make an amendment as a commission. What I request as a consideration, that'd be a number 2, is reduce the fee for newly assumed residents. So the newly assumed would be with consideration of the 3 zip codes. To have them be included in the 80%. Option 2, remove the fee for newly assumed residents and include them in the 80%. And then my third option is we'll still pay the $10, but just count them as 80%. So we're not opposed to making the payment. We don't charge them for it, but just have them be considered residents. And that's it. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your guys' time.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Paul Ruse.
Good evening. Thank you very much for taking your time to hear me. I know I have 3 minutes, so I'm going to cut to the chase and get point. I don't have a presentation to hand out to each and every one of you, maybe at a later time. The bottom line is the city of Temecula has very few sand volleyball courts that are acceptable in nature. I'm a resident of Temecula. My primary hobby and form of exercise due to some joint issues is sand volleyball because it's a high impact sport, but it's low impact on your joints. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It's a fantastic workout. The only acceptable court, and what I mean by acceptable, I'll define that a little bit, it has deep enough sand that is not right next to a busy road or street or on the side of a hill where the ball will run down and you chase it for a half hour, is what used to be Paula Park, which is now, I believe, Friendship, I think. And about a year ago, they did some renovation out there. The sand there was even kind of shallow, but when they did the renovation of the park, they dug it up, so the sand is much better there. The problem is that's the only 2 courts in the city that people can play on, that people that play a regular basis can play on. And I'm part of an informal group, and there's a lot of us, and there's other groups that come out, and it's the last year or so it's kind of become a bit of a challenge, and we don't like to have anybody that would want to play, whether they're kind of more intermediate or beginner level, and then they just won't be able to because there's no court. As I said before, there are additional courts in Temecula. There's one on off Margarita. There's one more on the eastern side of the city where I live. But the sand is very shallow. It's not a court you can play sand volleyball on. So you'll get injured, and or in the case of the Margarita Park, it's literally 20 feet from the road. So you hit a ball anywhere, it's going to go in the street, which is an unsafe adventure. So what I'm petitioning the commission to do is to think about putting additional courts in. They sent a flyer out recently. You guys send your monthly flyers or whatever, and you mentioned the fastest growing sport in the country was pickleball, and you're building an extra courts over in Wolf Creek Park, which is fantastic. One of the other fastest growing sports in the country is sand volleyball, whether you know it or not. And just having 2 courts that are available for the size of the city of Temecula, to me, is not going to work. It's going to lead to conflicts. You're going to have people fighting. It's just not a good situation. So Wolf Creek, now that you're doing work over there or maybe you've already started, that would be a good location. For some reason, there seems to be a greater percentage of players in the southern end of the city. So having a couple extra courts on that park might be an option. I don't know how expensive they would be to build. There's lighting. Friendship is lighted, but I don't think the courts necessarily have to have light. As long as the sand's acceptable, I think would be satisfactory to most players during especially the warmer months when the days are longer. You may not need to have lighting on the courts. And quite frankly, it's pretty cold at night, so you don't have the huge turnouts this time of year. But another option might be Harveston. Harveston's a very large park. There seems to be plenty of room there, and that's kind of on the northern end of the city. So then you'd have kind of like a mix. You'd have an area to play in the northern end. You still can have Friendship Park, obviously, and then maybe Wolf Creek have a couple courts. So my point coming here today is to petition the commission to think about putting some more courts in. And there is actually a petition that will probably be forwarded to the city council at some point. It's going around. I don't know how many people are on it, but this is kind of like the beginning stage of this. So something to think about. I know
3 minutes have passed.
Sorry, I'm done. Okay, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out tonight. And now to get back to our meeting agenda, the next item on our agenda is our division reports. And our division reports tonight will be led by Brittany Say. Thank you for joining us tonight, Brittany.
If I can jump in real quick.
Yes,
For those of you who came to comment, we appreciate it. And I just wanted to clarify that due to the Brown Act, the commission is not able to engage in discussion on non-agendized items. You can get my contact information from the secretary if you want, and you can shoot me an email as well with any additional information you have. Thank you. Sorry, what was that? Oh, no, you can stay. Oh, no, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. I just wanted you to know they weren't ignoring you. It's just a Brown Act requirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. And this is my first time sitting in this seat leading a meeting, so I appreciate any time you guys jump in to straighten me out, give me advice, and point me in the right direction. Thank you.
Good evening again, Commissioners. I'm actually going to be leading the first part of the Community Services Division report for the recreation side of our department. So we're going to start with aquatics, and the 50 out of the 83 swimmers who registered for the 100-mile swim challenge completed the task and received a free 100-mile swim t-shirt and some well-earned bragging rights. Looking forward to another challenge in 2022. For December 2021, the staff focused on water rescues while wearing their winter gear, as well as CPR and airway management. And this month, this month in January, there will be the first of 2 hiring workshops. We held January 13th via Zoom, and potential employees are welcome to gain valuable knowledge on what it takes to be on an aquatics team and insider tips on how to get hired. Overall, Aquatics served 1,367 community members for lap swim, 80 for water exercise and master classes, and 5 lifeguard WSI classes. For the contract classes, we have exciting news. The Winter-Spring 2022 activity guide is here and has been laid out for each of you. This brochure outlines the wonderful programs and services that our department has to offer, and they have been mailed to approximately 40,000 households and are at our city facilities, and it is also available online. And the web address is there, temeculaca.gov/activity guide. Included in this new season are new instructors. We are excited to welcome Jamal Brown, Matt Silver, Lauren Gilmore, and Elliot Thomas this year. And there's some new classes there as well. Some highlights are the flag football class, which is new, Little Miss Tea Party, Digital Darkroom, Adult Karate, and Mother's Day Pie Workshop. Overall, the contract class team served 684 participants for a total impact of 3,094. The CRC. So the Temecula Skate Park had, in partnership with Neighborhood Drop-In, had their first Scooter Jam event on December 11th. This event is for scooters 17 and under to ride and meet others in the community, enjoy music, refreshments, and giveaways. And thank you to Vice Chair Kathy Sizemore for attending. And check out the next Scooter Jam event on February 12th. The Teen Zone, which costs only $1 for an annual membership, allows middle and high school students a place to visit with friends, play board games, ping pong, video games, and participate in scheduled activities. Some December highlights included Holiday Baking Day, Family Feud, ornament making, and more. A total of 260 teens visited this past month. And continuing the Teen Zone, teens can also register for monthly theme boxes, which include crafts, activities, games, and gifts. The December box with the Holiday Magic theme was sold out and included a snowman craft, snowflake craft, winter word search, a custom snow globe sticker, and a candy cane pencil. The next Teen Zone box is the theme of New Year. For the homeless outreach team, they had 12 street exits in December, making an annual total of 85 for 2022. Details on some specific street exits are included in this slide for December regarding 3 males that were reunited with the family. 1 female client who previously refused help has since checked into housing with Project Touch and into a treatment facility. And finally, there's details on providing shelter for another individual in San Bernardino. There were 6 illegal encampments identified and 4 illegal encampments removed. And in additional news, Crossroads Church has donated gift cards and over 50 backpacks filled with supplies to the Help Center, and Project Touch has opened their winter shelter. And the homeless point in time count is scheduled for January 26th of 2022. Inclusive Services was busy this past month with several events celebrating the holidays. The annual High Hopes Christmas Dance was held on December 17th, which included music, dinner, and dancing. And thanks again to Vice Chair Kathy Sizemore for participating in this event. Skip had their annual Christmas event and enjoyed dinner, crafts, story time, and a special visit from Santa. And a special thank you to the Youth Advisory Council for assisting in these events. And they also had their own holiday potluck and gift exchange. The Mary Phillips Senior Center Christmas Luncheon was held on December 16th, and the Mary Phillips Senior Center Choir kicked off the event with holiday favorites. Guests enjoyed lunch and raffle. And then the Senior Pen Pal program. So this program was held for several months, and the seniors enjoyed arts, crafts, and writing assignments in the intergenerational Pen Pal program with ABC Village. In December, the program came to an end, and seniors were officially able to meet their pen pals, which made for a very heartwarming event, and the children put on a musical show for the seniors. The Warm Center was activated December 1st of last month, and the Warm Center served 342 people for temporary relief from the cold. And Be a Santa for a Senior is an annual event. It was held on December 14th, and it was in partnership with the Rotary Club of Temecula. It included a musical performance, coffee, treats, and presents. And finally, the Community Christmas Dinner, which was held on December 25th, was hosted by the Rotary Clubs of the Temecula Valley, brought over 800 people who enjoyed a warm meal, fellowships, blankets, gifts, and pictures with Santa. Special thanks to the 100 volunteers, Temecula Sunrise Rotary, and Commissioner Wilson, and their family for their service. Over at the library, they had a busy month in December with 37,071 circulated items, 6,284 self-check, 1,643 questions, 12,579 door count, and 3,855 Wi-Fi usage. The in-person programs that they had at the library were Froggy Gets Festive, Franklin Haynes Marionettes, featuring Santa's new sleigh, Elf on the Shelf contest, and the Candy Cane contest. And they had 3 displays celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. For sports, the local recognized youth leagues, baseball, softball, and football, completed their fall season. And December started off with a youth soccer league Commissioner Cup on December 4th and 5th, and the 11th and 12th, those first 2 weekends in December. The monthly field rentals continue to be at full capacity, and field renovations have commenced on certain fields. And there was another tournament that wasn't mentioned before, the AAU Youth Baseball Tournament, December 4th and 5th. Park rangers continue to patrol, and in the month of December, it was slower due to the holidays, but they continued to offer friendly reminders of the Temecula Municipal Code and being park ambassadors. And finally, the parks and facilities. A new pedestrian bicycle trail is nearing completion. The project is anticipated to be open the first quarter of 22. The extension includes undercrossings at Yanez, I-15, and Jefferson, with a paved trail along Santa Gertrudis Creek to connect to the existing trail along Diaz and Marietta Creek. Friendship Park, a partial park closure occurred November 15th, and it will continue through March 1st for the flood control. Channel reconstruction. The park closures will impact the soccer field, parking, and basketball. Long Canyon Creek Park, the mini pump track construction is to begin Wednesday, January 12th, and the partial park closure during construction will impact field area and parking. And that concludes the first portion of the division report, and I'll be happy to help answer any questions that you may have.
All right, thank you, Katrina. Let's take let's see if our commissioners have some questions, and we will start with Commissioner Kristofsky.
Thank you, Katrina. Great report. I just wanted to welcome our new commissioner first. Welcome aboard. It's great to have you. As far as the presentation, just again, a lot of great events, a lot of amazing things going on. Got to participate in some of those. My daughter was part of the Commissioner's Cup, and that was a lot of fun. Just so many awesome events, and I thank you guys for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Kristofsky. And now to Commissioner Hawks. This is your opportunity to ask any questions and make any comments.
First, I want to say thank you for welcoming me. I'm very excited to be on the first meeting. And my one question is about the library program. You showed two different numbers. One is 400 participants, and then the number of impact is 10,000, or I forgot it's two. Can you explain a little bit?
Can you pull that slide back up for me, Katrina? Or does Aaron have to do that? Oh,
Okay, there we go.
thanks. Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. So I'm sorry, your question was about which numbers?
Remember, the participant is different than the total impact. Is there a difference?
That total impact, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, the total impact is the door count. So if you look under statistics on the
Okay.
left, the door count, that's just the number of bodies through the door.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Anything else, Commissioner Oaks?
No.
All right, thank you. And now it's my opportunity to answer questions and make comments. It was a busy month last month. I'm definitely in some of the things I enjoyed. I really enjoyed the High Hopes. I really enjoyed going to the High Hopes Christmas dance. That was a lot of fun. And there is so much that we offer at the Mary Phillips Senior Center as far as services. I think we need to change the name. I think it just needs to be the Mary Phillips People Center, because we serve so many in our community through that building and the human services that are provided there. I had a really good time with that. I was really excited. This is the one that came to me in the mail. I was really excited to get this. I grew up in Anaheim, and I remember as a kid, I would get so excited when the Park and Rec's catalog came in the mail, and I still get excited. And I look at it cover to cover. And I did have a question about some of our contract class offerings. Is this the right time to ask that?
We will do our best, and if there's anything we can't answer, we will get to Tracy Masters and then get the answer back to you. So go for it.
Awesome, thank you. As I look through the catalog, I notice there's so many things that are offered in here. A lot of things that I remember doing with my own kids. Bigfoot and Wonder Science, those are a couple of our favorite classes. And when I get to the youth and teen enrichment classes, I see in here the Junior Women's STEM program. And I think that is awesome that we have a STEM class, because I know I spent time in FIRST Robotics as a coach and a mentor with STEM classes. And I do know research shows that around the middle school age, girls tend to leave behind science. They get these notions that it's for boys or they can't do it. And it's great that we have an outreach benefiting our youth in that age range and that we're offering it monthly. But what I don't see is I don't see an offering for STEM activities for the young men in our community. And I think that is something that would benefit them. And coming as a robotics coach, I would just love to see it be youth STEM activities.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any options, any hopes for, looking towards the future to doing something in that regard?
So a couple of things. One is that we're still kind of building back the brochure after the COVID year of it being reduced. So we're not fully back up to where we normally are. But if you saw the Wonders camps in there towards the beginning with Don Miller. Don Miller does wonderful science-based camps, and he has experiments, he has all kinds of activities, and those are open to the same basic age range as the Young Women's Junior STEM program, but it is specifically, or not specific, it's open to any gender.
Okay.
Don does camps. We've been offering his camps for years. My kids went through his camps. They're tremendously popular, The other one is we used to offer some Lego building, Lego robotics type classes. We're hoping to bring that one back on as well. But we're always looking to expand our offerings, and we're more than interested in expanding STEM offerings anywhere we have that opportunity. So we will definitely be looking for other opportunities. The Junior Young Women STEM program was done in conjunction with the schools.
Okay.
So it was specifically kind of designed to address that gap in participation in STEM activities. So it was designed specifically to kind of target that group, which, as you mentioned, tends to maybe fall away and not participate as much or not perceive that they have as many opportunities. So there may still be some value in maintaining a space for those programs that are dedicated to girls, while at the same time expanding our STEM offerings overall for boys as well.
Okay. Yeah, and that, I did notice, I did think about the Wonder Science classes, because I know my kids went through there, and I know Dawn does a lot of things that are in that STEM category. Maybe it's an aspect of rebranding how we put it in the catalog. My son would not go to a class on this page that has the flowers and the trees and the if I were a princess camp. He would kind of look at this page and be like, these are not for me. So
Okay, we'll take a look at
maybe
that
a
again.
rebranding issue, but that was just something that I noticed when I looked at it, is it just felt like there was a gap there for our boys with the STEM activities, and I want to make sure that we're including them.
We will definitely be looking at expanding our STEM offerings.
Okay,
It's always,
you.
always valuable.
Thank
at all
you. And
ages.
I know before, because my kids had taken classes, you had contracted with Gears to Robots, and they were doing it. And I know they're no longer in business, but there might be some aspects through First Robotics where we can get a hold of some people that could come out and maybe fill in that hole.
Oh, we're very open to that.
So that would be my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. And Brittany, if you would like to present the cultural arts portion.
Good evening, Commissioners. As Erica said, I'll be doing the art and cultural portion. Art gallery showcases. The galleries were busy over the past 2 months with exhibits ranging from Temecula Rad Run, Mixed Media by Lisa Cabrera, 14th Annual Ralph Love Plein Air Competition, Three Dog Night Series, and Clarissa Bond's Daydreams and Nightmares. Next slide, please. This slide highlights the winners of the plein air competition. Congratulations to Best in the Show winner, Jenny Berneath. Next slide, please. Thank you. The community outreach. The outreach team had a busy end of 2021. A video presented at the State of the City Park Adventure Series episodes 14 and 15 posted, featuring Butterfield Stage Park and Rotary Park. The Path of Honor had 36 new pavers installed, and all names were read at the patriotic salute to veterans. Looking ahead, current filming projects include the Temecula Alumni Video Series, Sister City Video, and Around and About Temecula Episode 25. Next slide, please. Social media numbers have been impressive, with reaches for Facebook alone over 30,000. The addition of Reels has also made a huge impact, with the Ride Run recap receiving over 5,000 views. Parading over to special events, the holidays were busy for the events team and all community service staff working our signature events. We finished out the year with Santa's Electric Light Parade, traveling along a new route, chilled in the park with amazing fireworks, and ringing in 2022 with the annual Great Drop. We are excited for 2022 to hopefully be a regular event year. Next slide, please. Dancing on over to the theater. November was busy at the theater with an impact of over 45,000. Mary Poppins was presented by Temecula Performing Arts Company, and all 5 performances of the Nutcracker Ballet were sold out. Next slide, please. Temecula Presents, a dance series launched with Backhouse Dance, and auditions were held for The Wizard of Oz. Temecula Presents student-led arts education internship program. Next slide, please. Let's head to the Merc. The Merc featured a total of 7 shows in November, including jazz, country, speakeasy, classics, and stand-up comedy. Next slide, please. There were several sold-out performances in the Merc, including Chris Mosey, Hey King and Nathan, and Jesse. Next slide, please. Let's step back as we visit the Temecula Valley Museum. November was busy celebrating Switzerland and Switzerland at Second Saturday. Thrift style exhibit ended and Small Wonders began, and the museum was awarded funding from the CAP grant program. Next slide, please. November featured a new student art mural project for Native American Heritage Month. Next slide, please. In December, the museum also held an artist reception for Dorland Arts Colony and celebrated Second Saturday with Christmas Around the World. A new exhibit will open this Friday, Anime Temecula, and will be on display until February 20th. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Brittany, for that report. Let's turn to Commissioner Kristevsky. Any questions?
Thank you, Brittany. Very informative. No questions on my end. Thanks again.
And Commissioner Hawks?
Thank you for the report. I'm just really excited to see the performances are coming back and all the other activities going on. Those are the activities my family used to go watch, the Nutcracker and other shows at theater. So I'm very excited to see, and I hope also to see more programs coming back.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawks. And I wanted to first congratulate our community outreach team and our Round and About and Park Adventures team on their awards that they won, the People's Choice Awards and the Capella Award for those productions. I know I enjoy seeing them on our social media and YouTube feed. So congratulations, Bea, to you and your team. And we had a lot of great special events last month. I saw my picture in quite a few of them. I had a ball. I had a ball at the parade. I loved the parade. I'm sure you and your family enjoyed that too. Still mixed on my thoughts between old traditional new route and Old Town route. I see both of them had their pluses, and both of those routes for the parade have their minuses, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we determine for 2022.
It will definitely be. We've been getting a lot of feedback on the new old route, and the consistent concern seems to have been that sort of dead spot in the middle of the route.
Yes.
So it's kind of tricky just because of the amount of space needed for staging and destaging. Where you end the parade, it has to be sort of a certain length, and there has to be space for destaging as well. But being able to get more parking that's a quicker walking distance to the parade route will be very helpful. So we're looking at reconfiguring a couple of things and trying to address that. But definitely some opportunities for improvement there for sure.
Yes, definitely. I've participated in walking in the parade with scouts and with other organizations, mostly doing the Old Town route. This was my first time to participate in the parade with the old traditional route. And yes, there was a dead space in the middle where it felt like, what am I doing here? But it was good. It was really enjoyable. I'm so glad that we got to enjoy. We had some old traditions with the parade and the grape drop that we got to have this last holiday season, and we had a new opportunity with Chilled at the Park. That was a fun event. I definitely enjoyed dancing to the bands there. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing what 2022 brings us. And I keep going to stop and have Eric take over, but Eric's not here to take over. So do we have more reports?
That concludes the division reports for tonight.
That concludes it for division reports. All right, thank you. So now for the next item on our agenda, which is to go to our consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine, and all will be enacted by one roll call vote. There will be no discussion of these items unless members of the Community Services Commission request specific items be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. The first item on our consent calendar is to approve the action minutes of December 6, 2021. I do want to see if we can make a motion to continue this to our next meeting in February, since we don't have a quorum. I will have to ask Commissioner Hawks to abstain from this because she was not at the December meeting, and we do not have a quorum with just Commissioner Kristevsky and myself. So I'd like to motion that, if I could get a second.
Second.
We have a motion from Vice Chair Sizemore and a second from Commissioner Kristevsky to postpone the action minutes until the February meeting. Can we do a roll call?
Do I ask for that? Do I ask for a roll call? Do I do the roll call?
You can, Katrina, you can call out each commissioner's name and then they'll vote.
Okay. Vice Chair Sizemore
Aye.
and Commissioner Krzyzewski
Aye.
and Commissioner Hawks.
Abstain.
She will be abstaining.
Okay.
She can, sorry, Commissioner Hawks can vote on the motion to move the item,
Okay,
but she can't vote on the item itself, if
Okay.
that makes sense. She can't vote
That
to
makes
approve the
sense.
minutes, but she can vote on the motion to move the item.
because that's current
Because the
business.
motion on the table is to move the item, right.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Katrina. And for the second item on our consent calendar, we will be, is to receive and file an update on the sports ranch at Somers Bend, and we will be receiving that report from Andrew.
Good evening, commissioners and staff, and congratulations, Commissioner Hawks. Very exciting. I haven't had the pleasure to meet all of you yet. So my name is Andrew Formentera, and I'm a community services assistant for the sports division. So I'm not going to take too much of your time up. I'm just going to give you guys a really quick update on the sports ranch at Somers Bend and how we're doing over there at the sports department. I actually had the pleasure of going not too long ago to go get a quick tour, and it's just it's insane. It's crazy. It's mind blowing. I've been here with the city doing sports probably since 2013, 2014, and that layout of the new sports park and everything they have is just it blew my mind when I went to go see it. So if you guys haven't yet RSVP'd, I'd love to see you guys there February 12th on the rope cutting. So just really quickly, I just want to go over the amenities that we offer at the sports ranch at Somers Bend. So basically, it's a 22-acre park. We have 2 full-sized softball fields / baseball fields that are going to be LED lit. We have 2 full-size turf soccer fields that are going to be LED lit as well, and 2 full-size outdoor basketball courts. And we have lots and lots of picnic areas and a giant, like it's a really good size. I like to call it the common area. It's a nice little patchy grass there that I actually went with the special events team, and they already have so many events they want to have planned there. They want to do movies in the park there. They're thinking maybe a couple concerts there. So it's all really, really exciting. As soon as we're able to open, we're looking to go full steam ahead with programming. We've kind of envisioned having adult softball start over there. We're ready to start accepting our youth recognized sports leagues over there, our regular rentals, like Temecula Adult Soccer League, and tournament runoffs. So basically what I mean by that is it's our vision in the sports department to kind of have the sports ranch at Somers Bend kind of be a sibling to Birdsall Sports Park. Basically what I mean by that is these are our premier fields. Like kids and participants and players and teams come from all over the country to participate at Birdsall, and we're excited to offer them another location. If you guys didn't know, we pretty much, for baseball tournaments, we are able to accommodate up to 14-year-olds, but it's a little bit smaller of an infield, so that's it. We pretty much, for baseball, just 14-year-olds. So at the new sports park we have, we're actually able to accommodate older kids up to 16 years old now. So when I'm in talks with all the tournament directors, they're really, really excited to have that option available to them. So basically, lastly, I wanted to update you with what we have planned. At Birdsall, our fee schedule hasn't been changed since about 2006, so kind of working really diligently, and we're contacting neighboring cities and other municipalities to see what they offer in terms of pricing, so that we can be on par not only with inflation but with surrounding cities, so that we're not charging a lot to our community, but we're also charging where we can offer a really high service for the community. So hopefully we get that approved very, very soon. So I just wanted to give you that quick update. I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments that you guys may have.
Thank you, Andrew. Do we have any questions, Commissioner Kristevsky?
Thank you, Andrew. That was a great report. I'm very excited to actually go check out the park over there. I had a question. You mentioned the difference between the field for 14-year-olds versus 16-year-olds. Is that just where the home run fence is? Is it the distance from home plate to the outfield?
No. So it's not the distance for the home run, but it's the distance for the bases. So
okay.
Right now we have 60 foot, 65 foot, 70 foot, and then our highest one is 80 foot at Birdsall. But at the new sports park, we're allowed to go up to 90 feet.
Okay, interesting.
And the infield is a lot bigger, and the fences are a lot bigger. It's like the new sports park is. If you guys once you guys take a look, it's really, really professional. It's an official field.
Very cool.
We're really excited.
And then for the event, do we need to RSVP or do we just show up?
Yes, there is an invitation. We'll include it in tonight's recap, but there's an RSVP to Dawn.
Definitely. I saw the email.
You.
I just didn't realize I had to RSVP. Okay, perfect. We'll be there.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you.
If you don't RSVP and you show up, we're not going to turn you away.
just kick me out of there. No, that's
a rough head count helps, but it's not the end of the world by any means.
Well, that's all I had for you, Andrew. Thank you so much. I'm very excited about what's going on over at Summer Spend.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kristevsky. Commissioner Hawks, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Andrew, for the report. I'm very excited, and I will be there. I already RSVP'd. And I have a couple of questions. First, you said Birdsall is at a different park?
Yes, so Birdsall is probably at the very southern end of Temecula. It's across the street from Great Oak High School.
Okay.
And now this new sports park is going to be on the northern end. Kind of, it's right where Butterfield and Marietta Hot Springs meets.
Okay, thank you. The second thing is there playgrounds for younger kids?
Yes, I actually forgot to mention that. It's they have a huge playground and it's super high tech, so they're gonna have a lot of fun there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hawks. Andrew, thank you for your report tonight. I am looking forward to the Sports Ranch opening. I've actually been stalking the park over the last year. One of my favorite views is to go across to Skyview Park, because you can look down and see everything. I think we were there. I dragged my son there probably around the middle of December. It was raining. I love it when it's raining out of the park.
Yeah, same.
And so we went over there and we were checking it out, and I snuck around the fence while the construction crew was there so I could take a look at it. I'm excited to see it opening. It's going to be a great amenity up in that northeastern part of our city, serving Somers Bend. That Somers Bend is huge. There's going to be so many families in that community, and that park will be really used by them and necessary. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And for item number 3 on our consent calendar is the selection of the chair and vice chair of our commission.
So just to clarify, item 1 was on the consent calendar. Items 2 and 3 are actually on the commission business.
I see. I didn't see business down there.
No problem.
I apologize.
It's at the very bottom of the page. No problem.
I apologize. I didn't see that the business was on there, and then I just assumed it carried over. I apologize.
Well, the numbering is continuous, so it's a little confusing. If you don't see the word business, you wouldn't realize.
I didn't see that. Okay, thank you, Erica. I will do a better job at noticing that next month. So our second item was for receiving the report. Our third item then on our business, our second item on our business calendar is to the selection of our chair and our vice chair for the calendar year 2022. The recommendation is that we select our chair and our vice chair, but I'm going to ask that we make a motion to go ahead and continue this to our February meeting. That's traditionally been our custom when we have a new commissioner coming in, that the new commissioner can get a chance to meet the other people on the commission before you're asked to vote for them. And also, since we don't have Commissioner Audi and Chair Levine here, I would like to see if I can get a motion that we move this to February's consent calendar.
Motion.
I second.
Motion and a second. Motion from Kristevsky and a second from Commissioner Hawks. And can we get a roll call vote?
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Kristevsky and a second from Commissioner Hawks. And the roll call vote, Commissioner Hawks?
Aye.
Commissioner Kristevsky?
Aye.
And Vice Chair Sizemore?
Aye.
Okay, all approved.
Thank you, and that's it for our business portion of our calendar, of our meeting. The next item on our agenda is our director's report from our interim community services director, Erica Russo.
Hi there, good evening, commissioners. I'll make it very quick. I just wanted to share that, like everyone, everywhere, we are struggling with staffing issues due to COVID. So we have, for each of our divisions, some of our divisions have 40 or 50% of their staff out currently due to COVID protocols. We've been really lucky that we've been able to hold most of our operations together with very, very few interruptions. We had to cancel one ballet folklorico class, and we've modified a couple of operations over at the senior center. But at this point, we've been able to hold it together, but I did just want to bring it to your attention that we are really struggling with staffing shortages. So, like everyone, everywhere, we just hope this will pass quickly and we'll get back to something resembling normal. So with that, I turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you, Erica. And I just, I want to mention that I appreciate that you guys are trying to maintain our offerings as consistent and normal. I think that's very important for our residents and especially the youth in our community, that they have that consistency and those classes available to them. So thank you. So the next portion of our meeting is the portion where our commissioners will give their commissioner reports. We will start with Commissioner Kristevsky.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Yeah, Director Russo, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We're struggling with the same issues in the city of Escondido, trying to stay above water with staffing, and it's compounded by the fact that we're having a tough time recruiting as well. I don't know if you guys are having the same issue, but it just seems like we can't get people in the door fast enough and through the process. So thank you for all that you do and for keeping the lights on. But as far as my report, I did really enjoy the Santa's Electric Light Parade. It was just a great time. I think it was not the first time I had been to it, but the first time I had been in it. And the previous year, it had been shut down, and Santa drove throughout all the communities. And so this was a special time, and the kids really enjoyed it. It was fun to see the community out and gathered. The attendance was, I did notice the dead spot, but it seemed like there were still a lot of people. I think the report said 35,000, is that correct? So is that typical? Do we usually have around that many people?
That's about typical. It was a little bit harder to judge just because we were spread out so much more, but staff's gotten pretty good at making rough estimates.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. There was a lot of people out there, and it was just a really fun time. Also got to enjoy the watching my daughter in the Nutcracker, the first Nutcracker, the one that was in November, right after Thanksgiving. So that was just a nice time as well to be in the community theater, and it was packed. There wasn't an empty seat in the house, so that was a lot of fun. And I'm really excited about the Sports Ranch grand opening. And other than that, I mean, it's just an honor to serve and to be here in the city of Temecula. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kristevsky. Commissioner Hawks?
I'm just excited to be on board and receiving this new magazine. I think it discontinued for a little bit, right?
Yes, that brochure is our winter spring, so it goes January through May.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see we have add more activities to this, and I'll be in there. I'll be there for lots of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Hawks. And now I will take an opportunity to give my report. At the last commission meeting before we hopped on the bus to go check out the Christmas lights, I had mentioned that I had been looking at skate parks. I had gone to the skate park in Tustin, Veterans Skate Park, and I had been up to the one skate park in Lake Elsinore. And I did not make it to there was too much rain. I did not go out during December to check out I wanted to see I believe it's Prince Park in Oceanside. And there was another one in Encinitas that I've been told Tony Hawk was really involved in the design of. So that is still on my agenda to get out to those skate parks to check those out. I did make the scooter jam at the skate park. And I did notice in our future jams at the skate park, we have eliminated the skate one. We have the BMX and the scooter. I think that was a wise choice. It didn't really seem like we had good attendance at the skateboarding one. So I liked noticing that you guys were proactive and made that change. I did want to report on the arts and culture for our city. I love everything that we're doing at the museum and at the community theater. It's so great to see both of those areas in our city coming back to life with events. I love the mural that we had this past month, the Christmas mural. That was beautiful. That was probably one of my most favorite ones so far. That was great to see. And I wanted to put a special thanks to Tracy at the museum. It's very important to me. We have that negative demographic in that 20 to 29 age frame. And it's very important to me that we look at why that is. Why are our kids leaving to go to college and not wanting to come back? How do we make Temecula a city that they want to come back to? I have two kids that are in that age bracket, one that's graduating college this year and we've had a lot of hard conversations over the holiday on what happens in June after graduation and mom and dad's assistance ends. And my daughter wanted to know that Temecula was a place that she could come back to with her ideas. And the arts and culture is very important to her. And a lot of her friends in that age range having opportunities to explore art, to go and visit museums, having opportunities to see shows, even opportunities to see those indie B movies that have in little theaters. Those were important to her. And I told her, well, I want you to come meet Tracy, because Tracy Frick can tell you about all the vision for arts and culture in our city and the opportunities that are available. And so we chose a day to go to the museum during our Christmas break, and it was the day that Tracy was off. But Tracy's like, I will come in on my day off to meet you and your daughter. And she took my daughter around the museum. Now, my daughter remembers Charlie the horse and going up there when she was around 8 years old. So it was really interesting to see, for her to go through the museum and see it with a different perspective as a 20-year-old. And it was really great for her to talk to Tracy and hear about the vision, and for my daughter to catch that vision, because that's what we need. We need these 20-somethings to catch that vision to take it forward to the next step. So really thankful that I live in a city where our staff will come in on their days off to talk to these young residents. And I'm so appreciative of Bea, because anytime I've reached out to you also with some youth, some people I know in that demographic that want to know what's going on in arts and culture in Temecula, you guys have always reached out to these people, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Vice Chair. I'll pass that along to Tracy. We're honored. It's our responsibility to pay it forward. Those shoulders that we stand upon gave it to us, and that's our job. We're here to serve the public, and we're passionate about the arts and culture and just blossoming the next generation. We're planting seeds that I know that we may not see grow, but we want it to be there for the next generation. So we appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
That is exactly the conversation that we had with Tracy, that Tracy was planting the seed. Maybe it's my daughter's generation to water that seed, and then the next generation to come to harvest. But it really touched my heart, and I was really very thankful that she came in. And there are so many opportunities in the city on what we can do to bring more art. And not only it's going to help with our tourism, more things for people to see in Old Town. We have opportunities for artwork installations in Old Town, and that will be great for our residents and great for our guests that come to our city. So thank you for letting me mention that. And I'm sorry I've talked so long. I have one last thing I wanted to ask about. In December, we had a girls' career fair. Is that under our division?
It's under Charles, so it came into our division when Charles came. So that was the mayor's initiative.
Okay.
So typically, each mayor has their own mayoral theme. They have their own initiatives. They have their own goals. That was one specifically that Mary Ann started several years ago. I want to say maybe 2 mayoral years ago was something she undertook. And so that's kind of her special thing, but it is under Charles, so it came with Charles to us, so yes.
If I could share a little bit on that from my perspective. Again, it's we're outreaching to the girls.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing to outreach to young boys for a career in our community? On the day of this event, my son came home from high school. He's a sophomore at TV, and he kind of goes, "Oh, so apparently the city had something for girls today." Because the girls got out of school and they all came back at the end of the day and telling us about how they got to go to City Hall and talk about all this, and they got free food. And he goes, "Mom, I would have liked to have done that. Why doesn't the city care about me and what I want to do for a career?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll find out about that." Mm-hmm. So I would love to see us have an offering for the young boys. I think we live in a day and age where we don't have to outreach to girls to get them interested in having a career.
Mm-hmm. We do offer through Charles's shop also he offers a number of workforce development programs, but there are 2 that are not exclusively for boys, but they are more geared towards boys, and they are an Automotive Externship program, which places young men from area high schools, it could place any young students. So far, the participants have been young men, into positions with automotive dealerships here in town. And then there's a building trades program that he works in conjunction with MSJC. And again, those are not specifically tailored to boys specifically, although the participants have historically been predominantly or exclusively boys. But again, totally open to suggestions. So by all means, if that's a discussion you'd like to, schedule a meeting and we can, hear some ideas of where you think there's an opportunity, we're more than open to that.
And a question on the trades program you talked about and the automotive. How are we promoting those? Because I do have one that has graduated, gone through the TV system on TVHS and graduated. And I've never heard a mention of that as an opportunity. Are we reaching out to the counseling departments? How are we?
Yes, those 2 are very new. So they're in their second year, I believe, for the Automotive Externship, and we just completed the first year for building trades.
Okay.
So those are some programs he's been developing over the years. They are newer ones, but absolutely, I can have Charles get you more information. He does work closely with the counseling departments at all of the local high schools, though, all 3 of the TVUSD high schools.
Good. All right. Thank you. I am a boy mom, and I am also a girl mom. And so I just want to make sure that we're reaching out to both for opportunities for their future, for them to think about their future. Right. Thank you. And the last item on our calendar is to call for adjournment. So I'm going to call to adjourn our meeting, and the next regular meeting of the Community Services Commission will be held on Monday, February the 14th. We all get to be each other's Valentines. at 6 p.m. here in council chambers, and I will adjourn this meeting.